Let's get started now. We'll go in the same order we usually do.
Excuse me. Yeah. Let's see what we're working with here.
We just finished with the flood story, right?
Yeah, and then the Table of Nations was chapter 10,
Oh,
where
yeah.
it goes through all the names of the nations.
And we mispronounced all of them.
Oh yeah, we butchered them. And now we're at the best part. Not actually the best part, but like it's a good part. The Tower of Babel, or Babel, if you want to be like that.
People actually pronounce it like that? Never heard Babel.
I've heard different pronunciations. I don't really know if there's a like correct pronunciation, but I think everyone knows what you're talking about. Either way.
Yeah.
All right. I will read. I'll start at verse 1 and I'll pause at some point. Now the whole world had one language and a common speech. As people moved eastward, they found a plain in Shinar and settled there. They said to each other, "Come, let's make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They used brick instead of stone and tar for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches into the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves. Otherwise, we'll be scattered over the face of the whole earth." Let's stop right there because there's a lot to go on there. That's going on there.
Yeah. One thing I thought of is like, do you think them saying reaching to the heavens was just like they're trying to build a really tall tower, or like they're actually trying to reach heaven with the tower?
So, the most common scholarly consensus of the Tower of Babel is, and I'm not viewing your stream at the moment, but I'm trying to get it to load. But you can probably pull up a picture of this. The scholar consensus of what the Tower of Babel was most likely was a ziggurat. What's called a ziggurat.
Like this thing, like a little spiral tower.
Not necessarily a spiral tower, but it's like a more of a square.
Oh, like
a bunch of. Trying to get the
like this,
Discord to
like
load.
this.
Yeah. I see you now. Yeah, but the idea of what a ziggurat is they're in the Near East, especially like in Babylon. A ziggurat is a building like a temple where the builders, they look at whatever god they believe in within their pantheon, and they sort of fashioned this temple as something that's supposed to be worthy of this deity to come down and like bring heaven down to earth, and allow this god to take time to rest, like by worshiping it and offering it food and whatever. And the thing about the people of Shinar here is that they saw God, Yahweh, and decided to treat him as if he was just like these false gods who, according to their myths, they need to eat and they need to rest and things like that. But the big thing about the Tower of Babel and why it's wicked, it's not necessarily that they're trying to reach the heavens. That's just a very common description within Near Eastern text to describe high towers. That they saw a big building, it's like, wow, that really does reach the sky, because you're looking at it from looking up. Like you go into like Nashville or something, you see all them giant towers. Not that Nashville has like the tallest towers in the world or anything by any means, but that's someone's just a little closer to home for me. You look up and you're like, wow, those are some tall towers.
Yeah.
But look at verse 4 where it says, so that we may make a name for ourselves. Like the point is that, hey, we're not trying to do this to glorify God or this God or that God. We're trying to do this for ourselves.
Yeah, it's like what's it called? I forgot the word. Like, it's the opposite of humble.
Prideful?
Yes, that. Like that's what it is. It's prideful, which is not good.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Dark just had a very hot take. I think Babylon was bad.
Nah. What do you mean?
Oh yeah, I also Jelly, not Babytron.
Like the rap.
There's a rapper named Babytron.
I think so.
It sounds like a like a baby transformer.
It
That's what I was
really
gonna say.
does.
Baby Megatron.
It's a real thing. It's a real transformer. Probably is.
It probably is.
There are
So
some silly names within Transformers.
I still don't know much about the Transformers lore. Do you guys think the common speech was like a language that still exists today, or did it just like it doesn't exist anymore? I would think it was
It's
probably
probably
Hebrew if it is a language that still exists or still known about.
so. That's actually a common Jewish theory that it was Hebrew. If I remember correctly, there are some Jewish scholars like Josephus from the first century, not too far from the time of Jesus, who theorized that Hebrew was like the original language. But Josephus was also very much like a Judaist supremacist, not necessarily supremacist in a way, but like he basically tried to sell you and everyone, including the Romans, on Judaism as if it was like the best thing since sliced bread, and he exaggerates quite a bit.
But yeah, I would just think that because that's what a lot of the Bible's written in, especially like the Old Testament.
True. Um, yeah, I mean it's possible. I think most likely, it was probably a language that is no longer spoken, but one that we could probably identify, like something like ancient Mesopotamian or some form of Akkadian.
Yeah, I mean either way, the language, even if it still does exist today, must have changed a lot over like probably like thousands of years since then. Also, Napolitani, thank you for the follow. I don't know if I said that right. Napolitani, welcome to the stream.
Hey, I mean, we butchered everyone in the Bible's names. We might as well butcher everyone in the chat as well.
Yeah, true. I didn't know how to say what I mean. I remember Nimrod from last chapter. That's a funny name.
It is a funny name.
But there's a lot of weird names.
I'm trying to remember what you read.
I mean, we split it into like 3 sections and then we just all mispronounced everything. Pretty funny.
Hazar Maveth.
Oh yeah, Gomer. None of us could figure out how to spell or say Gomer.
Yeah, I think I've heard like Gomer from someone. I might be misremembering.
I don't remember. Yeah, anyways. What do you think like the significance is of them using brick instead of stone? Is it just like stone like was used more often?
Honestly, I haven't really looked into that, but my guess is maybe that they use brick instead of stone. I was trying to reread the passage real quick. Maybe when they built things, or different peoples at the time when they would build stuff out of brick, maybe it had more significance.
True.
I guess
that just stood out to me because it was just written down that what material they used.
Yeah, instead of stone. I guess also depending on your methods, of course, but typically bricks would probably take longer and more effort to make.
Yeah, it says
Rather than just like carving stone.
It says they had to bake them they had to bake them thoroughly, which probably means it took a long time.
Yeah, so there was a lot of effort and time that was put into these places, like a ziggurat.
Yeah. Is there anything else like you had to say about this part? These verses?
Not those first 4, if that's what I read. I think I stopped after verse 4.
Yeah.
That's what I got. Unless anyone else has anything.
Ellie,
Yeah.
do you have anything to say, Ellie?
Let's just say I know everything about this topic. I have everything to say about it.
Then what happens, Jelly?
I think what happens is they all make this tower, and then God doesn't like it, and then he separates them, and they all can't speak the same language anymore.
Wait, he is experienced.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's actually what happens.
Let's go, baby.
I mean, it does have slight foreshadowing here. Otherwise, we'd be scattered all over the face of the whole earth.
Oh no, I don't want to do that.
Oh no, it sure would be terrible if this one language we had was no longer the only language and we were scattered across the whole earth. And then and then they get scattered across the whole earth. What passage is this? Oh, we're reading Genesis 11 to 12. We're currently at the beginning of 11. Alright, so should I start reading the next part?
Yeah.
Alright. But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower the people were building. The Lord said, if as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Let us go down and confuse their language so they will not understand each other. So the Lord scattered them from there over all the earth, and they stopped building the city. This is why it's called Babel, because the Lord confused the language of the whole world. From there the Lord scattered them over the face of the earth, face of the whole earth. Yeah, Jelly was right. He predicted it.
Wow.
Yeah, baby.
Jelly, do you actually like have any experience with like this story?
The only thing that I remember ever hearing about this is, yes, I did hear a story like this. I don't know exactly how it went, but all I know is people made a tower to like prove something, or like to prove that they're better, or I have no idea, but they get punished for it. And boom. I think there's no more tower, and then there's no more. They stopped building a tower, I think, and they all were like separated.
Yeah. Cause I wasn't sure how much Jelly knew about this, cause he didn't know about the Noah's Ark until me and Matthew told him.
I think I don't know anything, but I know this for some reason. I don't
Kind of
know.
is odd though, to be fair.
I think I remember seeing like a VeggieTales version.
VeggieTales?
Yeah, bro.
Why VeggieTales?
Because, bro, the VeggieTales Bible stories are so tough.
Honestly, it sounds peak.
Tower of Babel. Hey, wait, that's kind of loud. I don't think you guys can hear it, but kind of loud on my side. This is not VeggieTales. What on, bro? The cover was VeggieTales. They scammed me. I don't know what it was then. Maybe it wasn't a VeggieTales version.
There's probably a VeggieTales. It would really surprise me if there wasn't a VeggieTales like episode or something about Tower of Babel.
Yeah, same. It feels like something they would make a story thing about.
Like they did the giant statue of Nebuchadnezzar, but instead of it being the statue of Nebuchadnezzar, it was like, what was it, like a giant chocolate bunny?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if it gets the point across, do what you got to do, I guess.
Alright, so now we are on to from Shem to Abram.
I do have something to share about
Oh yeah.
the name Babel, and it's kind of interesting. So, we're not exactly sure of like the etymology between the Hebrew word that's used there, Babel. But we do know a few things. One is that I think it's linked somewhat to Babylon, and some translations even render it as Babylon. I'm not sure what translations off on my mind, but I have seen some translations or commentaries like just call this place Babylon instead of Babel. But the Hebrew word Babel literally just means confusion, and I mean it. Like I said, we don't really know the etymological connection between the Hebrew word and our English word, like Babbele. I think is how you spell it. Where like you think about like pointless babble, it basically means the same thing.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to translate the word babble, it'd be best to describe it as confusion.
Tower
So
of confusion.
yeah, the tower of confusion because it causes confusion. So not only is this like a point to say, hey, God is not like these other gods. He doesn't need anything. Like he doesn't need rest or food like these other gods. But it's also an attack on Babylon, just because, as the Gen Z would say, it is not based.
They are not based.
We'll get to Babylon much later, but they are not based.
Yeah, I understand it because it's in Gen Z.
So yeah, you said it how you could understand, Jelly.
Let's go.
Dude, this reminded
Hey,
me.
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say this reminded me of a I was watching a looking at through Instagram Reels one day. There was a reel about the Tower of Babel, and then someone in the comments said, "Hey guys, let's build a tower." And then everyone else replying to that comment was replying in different languages, and it was really funny.
Bro.
I didn't get
I
it for
remember
a
that.
second, but
Yeah, I've seen all kinds of things like that. I've even seen like a Reddit post where it was like, it literally just the post was like, hey guys, let's go build a tower and make a name for ourselves. And I think it even had like a screenshot from Minecraft. And then the top comment was like, "You've doomed us all."
You've doomed us all, and
and
then
then
everyone replying to that is like different languages.
yeah, everyone was in a different language.
It's very funny. It's talking
Yeah,
about.
I love Bible skits.
Yeah, I think Dark's seen it too. I've seen like a few posts like that. I think they're really funny.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff like that, especially for Tower of Babel, just because you can't not make fun of it. Not that it's like a stupid thing, but like, I mean, it's stupid that in hindsight, but this is something that did happen. But it's stupid to like treat our God as if he was like these other gods, like Baal. That's one that gets a lot of skits. Was Elijah and Baal from 1 Kings 18, I think, where they're trying to call on Baal, but Elijah, of course, he's representing God, and he's like, maybe he's taking a nap and you gotta wake him up. Maybe he's going for a walk, which like in the Hebrew context means he's going to use the restroom. He's just mocking.
Yeah. I mean, do you think there like were other like actual other ones, or was there like they were all made up? I feel like they were more likely all made up, but I've heard people say, or people like theorize that maybe, I don't know.
I believe yes. I believe some very well could just be made up, but I don't discredit or discount the idea that, especially according to the Hebrew Bible, like when you look in the Old Testament, um, there are very much more than one God. Now, is there any God that is like God in the sense of how we know our Lord? No. These other gods, or as the Hebrew Bible puts it in literal Hebrew, Elohim, which is just a word that it can mean God, but it also can just mean spirit. There are other spirits that masquerade as gods. And when you look at early church fathers, especially, um, they they were under a pretty stern consensus that these other gods, um, not only are they powerless before our God, but they are also most likely demons.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
gonna
think,
say. I was gonna say
yeah,
if there are like the other gods that are referred to in Genesis and other places in the Old Testament are probably just like demons like disguising themselves.
yeah,
That's probably also like if ghosts are real, it's probably my same theory for ghosts.
yeah. Because I hesitate to say that a human spirit can like leave hell or leave heaven unless it's like been given authority by God. But that in most cases that wouldn't really make sense, especially in the context of hey, I want you to go haunt a house. That doesn't seem like God, and that also is like why.
Yeah,
So it's definitely a demon in that case.
it might like what's it called? Like when people like think what's it called? Like think someone's talking to them from beyond the grave or something. It could just be like a demon pretending to do that.
Oh yeah,
But also there's
or
like
even like when you have these people that like communicate with like crystals or stuff like that.
yeah, what's it called? Yeah, they're probably just like like I feel like there's probably not as much like supernatural type activity stuff like now as there was back then, because there's like lots of stories of demons and angels and stuff from like a long time ago.
Mhm.
Like in the Old Testament, I feel like that probably doesn't have that. I mean, it definitely doesn't happen as much nowadays, or at least it's like really, it's a lot more subtle.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. I never say never in those cases, but one key thing is that um, from now in comparison to like 2000 years ago, paganism has been defeated time and time again. Now, unfortunately, there are a lot of these new paganistic movements um, that have like they take a similar form of these old cults like Norse and Druidic cults, but without they tried to avoid the sacrificing and things, at least most of them, and try to be more like, oh, we're in tune with nature and stuff like that. It's just more of like a hippie thing, but it's still Satan working in some aspect.
Yeah.
Because to quote one movie, and I can't remember what this movie is called, but I see the scene all the time, and I think it's very true to the Christian life. Satan doesn't care about good morals. He is after the authority of Jesus Christ. So he really doesn't care if you're living like a good life according to, these cults. I know I'm kind of going on a tangent, but this has to do with what you're saying, I promise. Like, you can live what others perceive as like good, you know, based on whatever morality that we have in our culture. But morality alone ain't going to save you. We need to have Jesus. Like, we need to have not only Jesus, but we need, the true Jesus. We need the true God in our life. Not these other pretenders.
Yeah, and dude, I had something I was gonna say. I don't know if I remember. Oh wait, yeah, I remember. It's also probably um like the devil works more in like temptation and stuff, and like mental mentally uh I guess causing people to do
Oh, yeah.
bad things instead of
Mhm.
physical demons and stuff like there used to be, like actual like possessions like there used to be back then.
Yeah. I believe possession can still happen, but what we see more often than not today is oppression, which is very different. Which, like, in the sense of like, you're being tempted, but you also feel a very strong desire to fall into that temptation, or maybe you have fallen into that temptation. Whenever we're experiencing oppression, um, Satan is just doing whatever he can to get you while you're down and get you to deny Christ, because that's the only authority that he's afraid of.
Yeah.
And that can manifest in different ways. Like, that can be just general temptation. I think for some it can work through mental illness. Not that he's the cause of mental illness as a whole necessarily, but he can definitely use mental illnesses to his advantage, or any bad situation in that regard. Addictions, like, there's so many things. It's the main way we see it today.
Yeah, and going back to like the part you said where like the only authority he's afraid of is Jesus, that reminded me of a meme I saw um on Instagram. Is like this dude talking about those like evil eyes or whatever that people think will keep them safe from evil or something, and he was just
Oh
like
yeah.
yelling about how they won't work. Why would evil scare away evil?
Yeah.
I don't know who that guy is, but he like, for some reason all his videos are in slow motion and it like slows down whenever he yells. It's funny. That just kind of reminded me of that. I might have to find that
I
guy.
put in the in one of the meme
Yep,
channels.
I just gotta find. I'd have to find his Instagram. I don't know if I'd be able to find it. I don't know what his username is. I don't even know if I follow him. But I've seen his videos a bunch. If I do find one, I'll send it. Alright, is that everything we had to say about this part, or about the Tower of Babel?
Not unless anyone else has something, questions or anything.
I think I said everything I had to say. I think that means Jelly said everything he has to say.
Yeah.
Well, Jelly, that means it's your time to shine.
Time to read
What part do I
Jelly.
read?
Where after it says from Shem to Abram, so 10, and then wherever you want to read to. Speedrun.
All right, hold on.
Take a deep breath before you do.
Do it all in
This is
one
the
breath.
account of. Okay.
What
This is the account of Shem's family line. 2 years after the flood, when Shem was 100 years old, he became the father of Arphaxad. After he became the father of Arphaxad,
This is what
Shem
we had
lived
to deal
500
with
years.
last time, Jelly.
Call him Arp. Shem lived 500 years and had other sons and daughters. When Arp had lived 35 years, he became the father of Shelah. And after he became the father of Shelah, Arp lived 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Shelah had lived 30 years, he became the father of Eber. And after he became the father of Eber, Shelah lived 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Eber had lived 34 years, he became the father of Peleg. And after he became the father of Peleg, Eber lived 430 years and had other sons and daughters. When Peleg had lived 30 years, he became the father of Reu. After he became the father of Reu, Peleg lived 209 years and had other sons and daughters. After Reu had lived 32 years, he became the father of Serug. And after he became the father of Serug, Reu lived 207 years and had other sons and daughters. Serug had lived 30 years, he became the father of Nahor. And after he became the father of Nahor, Serug lived 200 years and had other sons and daughters. When Nahor had lived 29 years, he became the father of Terah. And after he became the father of Terah, Nahor lived 119 years and had other sons and daughters. After Terah had lived 70 years, he became the father of Abraham, Nahor, and Haran.
Yeah, that's what we had to deal with last time, Jelly. But it was an entire chapter worth of that. Listing names, and we mispronounced every single one.
Should have added like pronunciation.
What do you mean pronunciation?
So we know how to say the name.
I mean, I don't know if they had like, oh, like you mean like those like in the Wikipedia when it tells you how to pronounce it.
Yeah, it'll be like sky until you had to like say sky.
There's
Right.
actually a I have it somewhere in my bookshelf. But there is a King James Bible that's like 50 years old, but it has it like in written form, like the accent marks for English and to help you pronounce everything. I don't see many Bibles like that that have that feature, but I wish more would because the Old Testament especially, there's a lot of names that I know. Even I've even seen professors like have no idea how to pronounce.
Yeah, I feel like there's probably like some Bibles that have that, but like in like you know how a lot of Bibles have like at the bottom of the page like a little box that like has extra information that you need to know.
Yeah, like the footnotes.
Yeah, footnotes. I think there's probably some that have them in like the footnotes and stuff. I'm not sure though. And also I don't know if back in like Hebrew this was like written in Hebrew. I don't know if they would have those like accent marks and stuff. So yeah. It's probably really hard to say in English. Alright, should we just continue reading? Or is there anything else we have to say about the uh talking about people?
Abram.
Yeah. I think that's the main purpose of this entire section. Getting to Abram.
Yes.
Speed runs a few hundred years. Alright, so should we continue reading?
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
Eric, it's your turn to read now.
This is the account of Terah's family line. Terah became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran became the father of Lot. This guy is important. While his father Terah was still alive, Haran died in Ur of the Chaldeans, in the land of his birth. Abram and Nahor both married. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah. She was the daughter of Haran, the father of both Milcah and Iscah. Now Sarai was childless, because she was not able to conceive. Terah took his son Abram, and what did he do? His grandson Lot, son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, the wife of his son Abram. And together they set out from Ur of the Chaldeans to go to Canaan. But when they came to Haran, or Haran, there's like two R's there, they settled there. Terah lived 205 years, and he died in Haran.
It's kind of interesting how uh the name and the place are the same.
I
They're
agree.
almost the same.
I wonder if it was named after Haran or Haran.
Possibly. I
Could have
mean, last time there was Egypt, which we all came to the conclusion that Egypt was named after them, or it was just a really big coincidence. Yeah, it's probably named after him. I don't know what the translations are. That's just kind of what I would assume.
And that's a fair assumption.
Is there anything else we have to say about this part?
I don't.
Not currently.
I think it's just kind of like setting up for the next
Abram.
chapter for Abram
Uh,
here.
Father Abraham had many sons, and many sons had Father Abraham.
Exactly like the song from VeggieTales.
Yeah.
Alright, I will read 12.
Yep.
Alright, the Lord said
12.
to Abram, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you I will curse. And all peoples on the earth will be blessed through you." So Abram went as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he set out from Haran. He took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, all the possessions they had accumulated, and the people that they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan, and they arrived there. Abram traveled through the land as far as the site of the great tree of Orah at Shechem. At that time, the Canaanites were in the land. The Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your offspring I will give this land." So he built an altar there to the Lord who had appeared to him. From there he went on toward the hills east of Bethel and pitched his tent, with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. There he built an altar to the Lord and called on the name of the Lord. Then Abram set out and continued toward the Negev. Alright, so this is like talking about like the promised land and stuff, right? I remember
Yeah.
correctly. Yeah. And is Negev towards Egypt? Because the next the next part's named titled Abram in Egypt.
I believe so.
I don't know where Negev is located. Let's see.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
It's a desert. Yeah, it's like northwest of Egypt, I think. This is Egypt, right? Top right of Africa.
That should be.
Alright, so apparently an anime woman.
Doesn't surprise me.
Do you have the... What is this from? Universal Battlefield? Gotta go down the craziest rabbit hole, bro. I have no idea what this is. I don't know if it's like a video game. It sounds like a video game. Anyways, not gonna go down
A
that
video
rabbit hole yet.
game that has every character location from the Bible as an anime woman.
That would actually be fire. Is that actually what that is?
I have no idea.
Hold on.
I was just making something up.
Hold on, I might need to... It's also the name of a big gun, I guess. Well, I'm going down this rabbit hole now, I guess. Oh, I'm at the... This is not the right... Wait, is it the right one? What is this? It's some sort of video game.
They probably just like took the names of locations and stuff from the Bible and just didn't really apply it much. Just kind of just slapped them on characters or places because that's kind of what a lot of media does.
Yeah, maybe they just thought it was cool sounding name.
Yeah.
Anyways, also has the Star of David on her hair. That's why I don't know. I was not expecting to see anime girl when I searched for the location of Negev. Also, welcome to the stream, Rowan. I'm a bit late. It's alright, no worries. How have you been? Hope your day's been good. You joined while we were looking at while I was on the Wikipedia page for that video game. I still don't really know what it is. Anyways, is there
We're
anything?
gonna get like next stream or something, and there's someone who's going to show up. Like we're gonna like offhand mention and be like, "Oh, I played that game. That's like my favorite game." And
Oh
then
my
just like lore
goodness.
dump stuff.
Just lore dump the entire game.
Yeah,
BP.
cool. But
My favorite game.
Billy's favorite game.
is it because it has a woman named Negev who has a Star of David in her hair?
Yes.
Yes, that's all we know about the game.
It's just the entire game.
It's definitely
That's it.
something to know about the game.
Yes. Is there anything else we have to say about this part though? There's the
I do know.
there's this whole part, like covenant thingy. I think it's a covenant. Pretty sure that's the right word.
Oh, yeah. So that's important. Like covenants are always important, of course. I didn't think about that. Or to really touch on it. But yeah, that's the start of the Abrahamic covenant, which is the first time we really see the promise about making a great nation. And when I looked into this passage for that, when God is telling Abram, I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. I don't remember if I translated it this way, but I at least made a footnote saying that in the context of what blessings and curses are, because I feel like a lot of people today, maybe not everyone, but for a lot of people, whenever you hear the word blessing or curse, we sort of get this like magical idea in our mind of like, oh, he's going to cast a curse on me or put a curse on me, something like that. But like the idea of what a blessing and a curse is here is like equivalent of having your favor. Like if you have my favor, then you have my blessing. Like you have my approval, and I'm going to do things for you. But if my favor is not with you, meaning you've done things that have angered or upset me, my favor is not going to be with you. I'm not going to favor you very well. So I'm going to withhold said favor, or in this case, I'm going to withhold the blessings. So a curse is more in the sense of, at least in this context, not in every context, but in this right here, it's more of withholding whatever blessings uh, were going to be given, if that makes sense.
I always think of since I've watched Jujutsu Kaisen, now every time I think of a curse, I think of like that entire series. Sukuna. I'm assuming that's what Jelly was thinking too. I knew it.
Excellent.
Just came back. Came on. I don't know what character you were looking up. Oh, I was looking up. I didn't know where. I think I'll remember where it mentioned it, but yeah, down here. I didn't know where it was, but I looked up that, and apparently it's the name of an anime woman from a video game, and also a gun. Oh yeah. I'm back from dinner, but I'm a lurk. Thank you for lurking, Celine. Hope your dinner was good.
Yo, she also has a gun.
Oh yeah, she does. Do you think it's the same gun? Hold on. We're
She
going back.
is Negev, holding the Negev.
It's named
That'd be
after
funny.
the gun she uses. Doesn't look too different. It looks pretty similar. It's just the magazine thing is exposed. It's like one of those like
Wait, that is the gun she's holding.
yeah. It's just it doesn't have like a barrel at the bottom or whatever they're called. Magazine. It just
Kinda
kind
like
of the bullets are
bolt.
free flowing.
I think this character was made on purpose to be like that. Negev, like with the star, and also holding a Negev.
Yeah, I think
So I named after Egypt then.
a lot of references on this character, I guess. Anyways, enough anime women.
Oh,
No.
her.
Are we even talking about the Bible anymore? Technically, yeah. She's based on a location named in the Bible, I guess. Alright, what else do we have to say about this part? I feel like there's like a lot in this part. Just first 9 verses of chapter of,
That was my thing. My main thing was the blessing and cursing part.
and also the altar he built.
Yeah.
Very awesome. Altars are
Noah did
very
that too.
cool when they're made to the Lord.
Man.
Yeah, I remember Noah did the same thing when the flood ended. So I guess it's like a way to it's like a way to like show thankfulness.
Yeah, they love God, and they're like, God, I love you.
I will make you big altar thingy. It's very awesome. All right,
Most definitely.
should we continue reading now?
Yeah.
The Egypt part.
Abraham in Egypt.
Yeah, Abram.
Oh wait, I did not read it. Abram in Egypt. There was a famine in the land. Abram went down to Egypt to live there for a while because the famine was severe. As he was about to enter Egypt, he said to his wife Sarai, "I know what a beautiful woman you are. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, 'This is his wife.' Then they will kill me, but will let you live. Say you are my sister, so that I will be treated well for your sake, and my life will be spared because of you." When Abram came to Egypt, the Egyptians saw that Sarai was a very beautiful woman, and when Pharaoh's officials saw her, they praised her to Pharaoh, and she was taken into his palace. He treated Abram well for her sake, and Abram acquired sleeping cattle, male and female donkeys, male and female servants, and camels. But the Lord inflicted serious diseases on Pharaoh and his household because of Abram's wife Sarai. Pharaoh summoned Abram. "What have you done to me?" he said. "Why didn't you tell me she was your wife? Why did you say she is my sister, so that I took her to be my wife? Now then, here is your wife, take her and go." Then Pharaoh gave orders about Abram to his men, and they sent him on his way with his wife and everything he had.
All right. So, how did Pharaoh figure out that was Abram's wife?
You know? Said, you know?
I don't know. I'm confused. Am I missing something? He just knows. Am I Am I missing something? Dude, I'm confused.
He just knows.
He just knows? Uh,
That's
I
that's it.
guess
He just
he
knows.
just found out somehow? Doesn't tell
No,
us?
he just knew.
But
We
he didn't
found out.
always know, or else he wouldn't have done that. Also, Celine, thank you for the 100 bits. Let's go. W Celine.
Most people that I can find online, commentators and such, have said that this is most likely like a case of divine intervention.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like maybe like because God was like causing bad stuff to happen to him, maybe he like figured it out, or maybe like God just like told him.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall not very good things have happened to pharaohs in the Bible.
For the most part, you know.
Overall. Yeah, why do you think, what's it called? Like, I don't know how to word the question. I'm trying to think of a way to explain what I'm thinking.
Take your time.
Because, like, why would God have just let Pharaoh try to marry Abram's wife? If he would just like make bad stuff happen to him, and then he realizes it, and then he's like, okay, now go away.
Wait, can you say that again? I was not listening.
Okay, bro. I was like I don't know. I'm just very confused at everything that happened. This part is like, I mean, goes to Egypt, and then Pharaoh tries to marry his wife, and then he gets kicked out of Egypt. So
What are you confused about exactly?
I mean, I understand what happened. I just don't fully understand why it happened. Like, what's the purpose of this?
Like what specifically?
Like, why is it? What's the significance of just this entire part?
Well,
Just to show, like the blessings and the curses on people who don't, who are against.
there are definitely things that are in scripture with a purpose, with an intended message. But more often than not, especially in the Old Testament, and in Genesis, no more or less than any. The biblical authors will describe the actions of the patriarchs, but it doesn't justify them. Abraham does a lot of bad things. Abraham does a lot of good things, but he does a lot of things that are morally questionable. But it never tries to justify what they did, because the point ultimately is that all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. You know, they've made some dumb mistakes, just as we have all made some really stupid decisions
Hmm.
in our lives. Like in this case, nothing would have happened, most likely, if Abram was being honest and said from the beginning that this is my wife. But he was afraid for his own life because, according to the scriptures, Sarai was a very beautiful woman, even despite her age. And he was like, no, this is my sister.
Yeah, I guess
Which
that's,
again, like, it's not like, hey, you should replicate this behavior. No, don't treat your wife as an object or call her your sister, unless you're calling her your sister in Christ. That's valid. But like, don't be like, oh yeah, this is my sister when you're trying to get out of situations.
yeah, lying bad.
Lying is
Bad
bad, yeah.
lie.
And
Never
treating
lie.
people, men or women, as objects are also bad.
Yeah, I guess that basically answers my question, because like I wasn't sure why this was just like what the significance of this, like, I guess being here was. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah,
Also,
sometimes things just happen.
yeah, sometimes things just happen, not good things, even to Abram. So goodbye Celine, thank you for stopping by. I don't know if she's still here or if she left already, but she said that she had to go. So yeah, all right, And we
Listen, I forgot you mentioned earlier that Selena's in the chat.
yeah, Celine.
Hopefully all four of us can be able to do a Bible study. If not next time, then sometime in the future. I know Jelly wasn't able to make it last time, I think, but she was here last time, which was good.
Yeah.
Value new voices.
I think Jelly if Jelly was here last time and he just tried to speed run one of those like chapters, I don't even know what would have happened. I think his brain would have exploded. He would not have been able to pronounce half of those names. Or all
You gotta
those
have
names.
something in the server where if Jelly loses a bet, he has to like send a clip into one of the channels where he is just like reading all of chapter 10 in one breath.
One breath. Easy. Oh yeah, then how do you pronounce I don't
Arfax, dude. Arfax.
yeah, ARP.
Tell me how to pronounce it.
ARP.
There you go.
Unfortunately I have to go now. Getting a bit tired. Alright, see ya Rowan. Thank you for stopping by. We did read the 2 verses. Should we try reading 13? Or should we just stick with 2 verses every time? Because the past few we've gotten done like pretty quick. But then I feel like in the future, there's probably gonna be verses that like make up for it and are like way long. But we could do 13 too.
Yeah, depending on what happens, we can do like multiple chapters. There might be some times where, like when we get into the Psalms, there might be some cases where we might just need to do one chapter because
Yeah.
there are some pretty long Psalms, like
119.
118, I think. 118 or 119. One of them is like
Pretty sure 119 is like the longest chapter in the Bible.
I think it's 119.
With like 100 something verses. It's a lot.
Yeah, we may have to do multiple parts for that one.
Yeah. So should we continue on to 13? Or okay.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do 13.
13. What's 13? I have no notes on this.
I don't either, but that's okay. I remember bits and pieces from this.
I'll just make it up as I go. Like I do most
Yeah,
of the
let's
time.
making things up.
Yeah.
Like a good Protestant.
Right.
I'll just pretend to know what I'm talking about. Alright, I think it's your turn again, Eric. I think Jelly read the last part. Wait, is there anything else we had to say about the last part of 12?
I think I have everything in that regards,
Yeah, I was just very confused about it.
which is understandable.
Alright.
Yippee. Right, 13. So Abram went up from Egypt to the Negev with his wife and everything he had, and Lot went with him. Abram had become very wealthy in livestock and in silver and gold. From the Negev, he went from place to place until he came to Bethel, the place between Bethel and AI, artificial intelligence.
Yep,
It's
that's
specified
totally what
right
they're
here,
talking about.
where his tent had been earlier, and where he had first built an altar. There Abram called on the name of the Lord. Now Lot, who was moving about with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents, but the land could not support them while they stayed together, for their possessions were so great that they were not able to stay together. And quarreling arose between Abram's herders and Lot's. The Canaanites and Perizzites were also living in the land at the time. So Abram said to Lot, "Let's not have any quarreling between you and me, or between your herders and mine, for we are close relatives. Is not the whole land before you? Let's part company. If you go to the left, I'll go to the right. If you go to the right, I'll go to the left."
Okay.
There's a lot to go in there, but like there's also like the thing we're going to notice in these chapters moving forward is that like some of them like lengthwise might be longer, but there's less being kind of crammed into.
Yeah, like there's less to talk about.
Yeah.
It's all just kind of like it's just there.
House
Yeah.
like corporate.
It's I didn't even say okay. They did go back to the anime girl with a gun though.
They did. They returned to her.
I'm pretty sure it's like a river, I think, right?
The Negev.
It looks like oh wait, no, it's
I
a
think
desert.
It's like a land or a desert.
It's a
It's
like a big desert just separated from Egypt by like the Red Sea. Not really separated. This light section right at the top there.
according to Google AI, which is always true and never flawed. It says that it's located in southern Israel, which I can verify it's part of southern Israel. However, I wonder if it's part of if it was part of southern Israel during biblical times, or if that's just a today reckoning thing.
I think it's probably just a today thing. Because here, this is like a map, and it says it's like the Bible map, I guess. And yeah, Israel is just this like tiny little triangle right here, and then this is the Negev desert is this big thingy, I think.
Rebuilding that, but on Minecraft map.
We're gonna build the entire Negev desert in Minecraft, Jelly.
Maybe, probably not, but it's possible.
Let's build the Bible in the Minecraft.
Oh yeah,
Building just like a huge
Bible
Bible would be nice.
we gotta, what's it called? We need to build a church on the server, and then we can just have like a book and quill with like every single Bible verse in it.
Make sure you put it in a house on a hill.
The
But
house
the
that John
question
built
is,
on it.
do we have like a specific translation, or do we try to evangelize to Gen Z?
And the freaking the next translation of the Bible is just like brain rot or something.
Jesus said he was Sigma.
But yeah, like the, what's it called? The
Don't you guys remember the ninth commandment? Thou shalt not cap.
I forgot cap was even a word.
yeah, same. It's like back in in Genesis 1 when it says, and he said it was good, and he said it was Sigma.
Was bussing.
That'd be so cursed.
Well, it would.
Alright, see ya, Dark. Thank you for stopping by. Alright.
Spend time with your mothers if you haven't already.
True. I did earlier. I think actually, maybe not. I don't know how
We
long
love
it's
our
gonna
mothers.
take. Probably not too long.
No, it probably won't take us long to get through the rest of this.
And it's Mother's Day time. It'll still be Mother's Day, probably, as long as it's not midnight.
I doubt it'll take us to
Yeah,
midnight to-
I doubt it'll take us 2 hours to read this chapter. Alright, where did you read to? I think like
I read to
7?
after verse 9.
Oh,
I
9.
didn't get to verse 10.
Okay. Is there anything else we have to say about like this part?
I'm done on my end.
Yeah, I don't have too much to say. I feel like in the future, once we do get to just like more like these types of chapters where there's like not much to say, we could just like kind of just read through them, and then people just like jump in and say whatever they think, if they think of something.
Yeah, or if they have any other kind of questions in general.
Yeah.
Because that's something that was a little more difficult for us. Like in the beginning, was there was a lot of people that was asking a bunch of questions, which was like, not that it's a bad thing that people were asking questions, of course, but like the first 11 chapters, there is so much to talk about when you're trying to read that much at a time, and you have all these people asking questions. They're good questions, but like they're going to take a minute to answer. But hopefully now we can pace ourselves a little bit better and be able to allocate a little more room for people to ask questions.
Yeah. You could just have like a little question time at the end or something. Alright, so any questions, class?
Yep.
Any questions? Alright. I will now read 10. And probably more than just 10. Lot looked around and saw that the whole plain of the Jordan toward Zor was well watered, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot chose for himself the whole plain of the Jordan and set out towards the east. 2 men parted company. Abram lived in the land of Canaan, while Lot lived among the cities of the plain and pitched his tent near Sodom. For the people of Sodom were wicked and were sinning greatly against the Lord. Right. I noticed something while reading through it. Or was it where it says the garden of the Lord? Is that like the Garden of Eden?
I
Is
want
that
to
what that's
say
referring
yes.
to? That's what I thought when I first read it. I'm not sure if it's correct.
I might have to go back and reread that passage and look at my what notes I can get.
Also, it says well watered like that, and like the land of Egypt, which isn't Egypt like dry and stuff? It's like a desert. Yes.
It's not entirely a desert. Like it's a desert, but there are some swamps and like some wetlands.
Like here, this city in Egypt. Whenever I think of Egypt, though, I always think of like the deserts and the giant pyramids and this thing,
which is fair.
It reminded me of in when Vector from Despicable Me steals the pyramids
Vector
and puts them in his backyard.
committing
Peak.
crimes in direction and magnitude.
Vector. Alright, now they are separated, Abram and Lot. Jelly, do you want to read this part now?
What part is it?
14, wherever.
The Lord said to Abram after Lot had parted from him, "Look around from where you are, to the north and the south, to the east and the west. All the land that you see I will give to you and your offspring forever. I will make your offspring like the dust of the earth, so that if anyone could count the dust, then your offspring could be counted. Walk through the length and breadth of the land, for I am giving it to you." Abram went to live near the great trees of Mamre at Hebron, where he pitched his tents. He built an altar to the Lord.
Alright, the first thing I thought about was, like this beginning part where the Lord is talking to Abram. Reminds me of that scene from The Lion King.
Yeah.
It's like everything the sun touches is yours, or whatever big lion
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
says.
Hey, he did do an audio book of the New Testament.
The same guy who voiced
Yeah,
the lion?
James Earl Jones.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds pretty
Full
peak.
circle.
Truly is a blessing.
Yeah, I guess this is more of the covenant thingy. Yeah, just adding on to it.
That's a big part of Genesis.
Yeah, the covenant. How long is Genesis? I don't remember.
I think
Chapter 50? Okay, we're like a little over 1/5.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, maybe what's it called for the next time? Should we like try to do more chapters? Like maybe 5 chapters? Maybe that's too
Yeah, it'd be
much.
fine.
5 or like 4.
Maybe three or 4.
Okay. Yeah, because we did 3 this time, even though we kind of didn't prepare for 3.
I mean, that's okay.
Yeah, next time, what is 15 and then 15 and then 16? All that.
Some of that I probably have written in my blog.
I just don't want to like, what's it called? Like, accidentally put in like a lot of like really long chapters.
Yeah, just understandable. I don't think we have too many like super long chapters in Genesis anymore. Like maybe a couple, but most of them ain't too bad.
Yeah, I just don't want to like accidentally have like an 8-hour stream or something, like some crazy long
yeah.
stream.
No,
Yeah,
that won't
because-
happen until we get to like Psalm 119.
Yeah,
We can pull an all-nighter. Kidding.
like 12-hour long stream, just reading it all in one go.
Dissecting every verse.
Every single verse, word by word analysis.
If I can find a Hebrew scholar for that, like I would actually be down to do that. The issue is just finding the time to do that.
That would take a long time.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now, let's go.
Yep, the 3 words I
119.
know in
We got it.
How many? Yeah, it's 176 verses.
Yay.
And I think the longest one we've read on stream so far was like 30 verses. We've like
Give or
40,
take.
and it's all a psalm. Jelly, I expect you to sing every single psalm once we get there.
Don't know how it goes, but I'll give you a song. I'll sing it.
He's gonna sing it every psalm. Trust, it's gonna be peak.
C, D, E, F, G.
I don't think the ABCs are in the Bible.
He made it.
Yes,
Yeah.
God made our
His creation
brains, and our
created it.
brains think of ABCs. Yeah. All right.
Would you be proud? Would you be proud of your creation if it created something?
Like if I like,
Had
what do
a
you mean? If
son,
I like
daughter.
somehow created like a robot or something?
Son,
And-
daughter, robot, and it created something. Be proud.
I mean, yeah, probably. If
was
it's
about to
something
say.
good.
No, it's like a collider.
What?
From Spider-Man.
Like the
Take a butt.
Hadron Collider?
No, it's the, I forget the full name of it, but it's like collider. It's from Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think this thing.
Talking about the fusion reactor from Spider-Man 2?
No, he's talking about Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like the big thing.
Okay. It was like
My gosh, I can't spell.
Alfred Molina.
I would be pretty proud if they could make that.
Yeah, it's the Hadron Collider, bro. I knew that's what it was called.
Got it.
Yeah, because that's a real thing, dude. It, like, created a new atom or something. Created, like, a new element. something like that. I don't
Yeah,
really
buddy.
know what it did. Oh no. So a lot of big smart people things. Accelerates particles, discoveries. Yeah, it created a new particle. Pretty neat. I don't know how that works, but you know, I guess yeah, someone knew how it worked since they made it happen. Trial, bro, that I don't think that's how they made the Hadron Collider. I don't think they did that through trial and error.
No, in a way, yes.
Yeah, but you wouldn't just... I think they had to at least know a little bit what they were doing to make this.
How do you think they would know how to do it in the first place?
Probably using
Trial and error.
other stuff they've created, and then they were like, oh,
Yeah.
I can use this to make this.
There.
It probably did take a little bit of trial and error, but they didn't just make one of these, it blows up, and then they just try another one, and then it blows up again, and they just keep doing it until it works.
That's not what I'm saying.
Is that not what trial and error... The error part of trial and error?
Trial and error, you like start until like you can find like you start from as little as you can till like it finally like gathers up over time. Trial and error.
I don't think that's what trial and error means. I think that's just like accumulating knowledge.
Trial and error.
Okay. There's no arguing with Jelly. Oh. Alright. I think we covered everything this stream.
I think so.
Time to find someone to raid. And we covered a lot extra with trying to figure out how the Hadron Collider works. I guess.
I created it yesterday.
What? Did you go like back in time and just made it for them?
Yeah.
You just created your own one in your basement?
My basement's not that big.
Yeah, I know. I would hope your basement's not that big.
But you know.
My bush what do I not that? But
I
like,
think
what the
anyone's
fuck?
basement is that big. Let's raid this person. Raid Melinda again. Kind of wanted to raid Misty, but yeah, I'll raid Misty another time. Okay, I'm watching this awesome advertisement for the whatever project thing.
I love Alienware. It's like, it's done me so well.
Sounds like a good company. I just prefer building my own PCs.
I would prefer building my own PC, honestly. Like, it's good. Like, it's a little overpriced, Alienware, but like, I will say you do kind of get what you pay for. Like, I've had this laptop that I've had, this gaming laptop, for a few years, and it's done me pretty well. It can run every game I want.
I just opened a I just opened the raid tab, and it like suggests people to raid that are doing in the same category as me. And someone's title in the just chatting category is single mothers hit me up. I'm not raiding that person.
It would be funny, but not appropriate at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna try to hit him up, Jelly?
B.
My god. Alright, we're raiding Melinda. She did just get raided by another dude. So double raid, I guess. Everyone join the raid. Join the raid because you're awesome. Yo, welcome to the stream, Fruity Pebbles. You just got here like right when it ended, or have you been here? Very good idea. It's a funny idea. I don't think it's very appropriate for the, you know, the stream. Yeah, and especially on Mother's Day. I mean, I guess that's one way he can celebrate Mother's Day, I guess. I've been here. Oh, okay, thank you for lurking, Fruity Pebbles. It's been a while since I've seen you in chat. Hope you enjoyed the stream. But yeah, we're gonna raid now. So I will see you guys all on tomorrow. Yeah, for a stream. I don't know what I'm gonna stream tomorrow. Jelly, are you gonna force me to play Minecraft again?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we're doing Minecraft because Jelly's gonna force me to. Yeah.